Hi, Stacy here with Bluebird Paper and Thread. Thank you for joining me today. Today is Saturday, December 7th. I'm filming this on Saturday. You're not going to see it until sometime in the middle of the week. This is a Flosstube extra. I am going to talk about my favorite stitchy things. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My channel is on my hobbies. Right now, my primary hobby is cross stitching. I do a little bit of sewing, and I have done quilting. I hope to do quilting again soon. I've been stocking up on some supplies. So hopefully I'll have an opportunity to start working on some quilting projects. I also do paper crafting. I like to make greeting cards and treat boxes, gift tags, gift card holders, that kind of a thing. And I like to share it here on this channel. Favorite things. I did this video last year, and I had 10 or 12 favorite things. This year I have 6. So it'll be a shorter video. And that's partly because I didn't buy a lot this year. I bought a lot of charts and a lot of fabric and floss. I didn't buy a lot of gizmos and gadgets. So I don't have anything like new and exciting that's out on the market to share, really. But what I do have, I still do like. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. The first thing I want to talk about, and I talked about this last year, is the unstitcher. This is a tool. It has a cap. Of course, I've lost it. But this is a tool. It's like a needle point up here, and you use it to unstitch and frog your stitches. It's a little bit better than using a sewing needle or your cross stitch needle, because the cross stitch needles tend to be a little thinner. I know that when I use my cross stitch needle, I tend to catch the thread and fray it, which can break your thread. This is a little bit more substantial, and also the other thing, when you're pulling your floss out, it doesn't warp or bend your needle. So I really do enjoy the unstitcher. I will try all of these products. I will try to find links and link it down below. This one I know I got at the Fat Quarter Shop, so you can go there. The next thing is highlighter tape. I still love this highlighter tape. I have the same roll that I have from last year. I'll probably have it for 10 more years. It's a transparent tape. You can see I've got a little bit stuck here. And what I do with this tape is I use it for several things. First of all, if I stitch part of a motif and I notice a mistake as I'm moving on, and I pick it up another time and I'm like, ooh, there's a mistake, I take a piece of this tape and I flag it on the chart. Then I know that if there's pink tape on the actual chart, I go and I look at the stitching that I've done and compare it to the chart, and then I can fix what needs to be fixed. Add the floss that needs to be added, frog whatever needs to be frog. Whatever it is that needs to be done, I'll find it and I can do that. I've used this to help me figure out like what row I'm on. So I will move the tape. I'll put a small length of tape, and then I'll lay it out, especially a black and white chart. I'll lay it across the row that I'm working on and work in the pink area. It just kind of helps my eye focus a little bit more. And then the other thing that you can do is you can use this to highlight, like there's one particular chart. It's my Dreaming of Poppies, and I think it's the Scarlet House chart. I'm not sure. That chart, it's a bigger piece, and she's got a lot of little projects in there, but the chart itself to stitch the main big piece is kind of chopped up into little pieces, and it's all over all these different pages. So when I'm done with that in that particular chart, I put a little piece of that tape on the top of that page so that I know that that page for what I'm working on is done. So this comes in quite handy. You don't need very much of it. You can reuse your tape. It can, depending on the paper that you put it on, it can leave a little bit of a residue, but it's nothing that you can't rub away with your hands. So if you are interested and you haven't tried this already, I really do. I think this is like one of my favorite things, like top of my favorite things. I am stitching this after I stitched my regular Flosstube video for the week. I may or may not still be sick when you watch this, but right now I'm kind of coming out of a cold. The next thing I want to talk about are the Floss Drops. I tried several different Floss Drops last year, and I landed on these kind of teardrop shaped Floss Drops, and I still love them. I buy them 100 at a time. They're not super inexpensive, but they're not super expensive either. They come with a film over it because they're acrylic. They cut the acrylic and it's got film on either side of it. You just peel the film off and then they go clear. These are the DMC stickers. So I do have several sets. I try to go through them in a particular order. So, you know, I might wind up with several 3790s and I just pull from whatever set I have that I can find the sticker on. Or they have blank ones and you can write your own. So I've done that as well. So not very many of these have broken on me. A few have, but they are acrylic. If they get squished or stepped on or turned on the ring, yeah, they're being acrylic, they can break. They're a little thicker, and the way that it's designed, you see how thick that is, and the way that it's designed to go, you have some thickness here between the stress from the hoop or the ring and the edge of your floss drop. So really it takes some force to break it. The other one that I had, which was a smaller one where you could slide the DMC label on it, those were thinner overall, and it was a thinner space between the hole that you put them on the floss drop or the floss ring and the edge, and those all broke. I did not like those at all, but these are still my favorites. I still enjoy these quite a bit, and they're very, very reasonable if you want this kind of a system. Very reasonable for what you get, I think. Amazon. I will link them below. The next thing I decided to do is I decided to try the Nurge Hoops. One of my subscribers sent me a Fat Quarter Shop box, and it had a coupon in it, and I think the coupon was for percentage off of the Nurge Hoops, or I used the coupon for the Nurge Hoops. So I bought a set. I bought a set of 4 Nurge Hoops, and I absolutely love them. I wasn't sure I was going to love them, but I absolutely love them. They have 3 different sizes, 110 millimeter, 165 millimeter, 220 millimeter, and 280 millimeter. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, respectively. Come in a variety of colors. I chose the gray. And I have used this big one. A little more cumbersome to work with, but so is any bigger hoop. I've used this size, but my sweet spot is the number 2. I use this for a lot of my, especially my smalls. I use this one. I've used this one maybe once. What I like about this, you unscrew it from up here and you pop it out, and they have a channel. So your fabric locks in here, kind of in the same way that your fabric locks in the hoop. I forget the name of the hoop that you use for needle punch, but it's the same kind of a thing. It really doesn't slip. And then you tighten it back up, and you can adjust your tension however you want. It doesn't really hurt the fabric. It does not hurt the stitches. If I'm using a linen that's a very loose woven linen, it can separate the threads a little bit in the linen, but that is easy enough to kind of maneuver and put them back in place. I think also if you hit the fabric with a little bit of an iron, it helps to kind of rehydrate the threads and in that fabric, and kind of put them back in place or keep them in place. So anyway, so an investment, but one that I think is well worth it. So another one of my favorite things. Okay. I may have shown this before. I don't know that I showed it with last year's favorite things. I think it's a purchase from this year. Oh, now I have hiccups. I was looking for something to store my charms in, and I have the hiccups. That's wonderful. And small trims. And I found this box. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Let's try it again. I wanted a box that I could store my little charms in. And I found this on Amazon. And it holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 14 smaller boxes. And I use this for my charms. Right now I've got 2024 charms. And you know, the lid snaps. It's a good, secure latching box. The lid is attached, so you don't have to worry about losing your lid. They fit in here nicely. I have mine sorted out where I've got all of my different finishes for the 2024 charm. I've got some rusty pieces and some bells and another charm, and then down here are mostly holiday Christmas charms to use for finishing pieces. And I did actually pull some of these out and use them on my finishes this past year. It's not very expensive. It has a little bit of a lip here, so you can stack several of them together, I believe. But I like it a lot. It's compact. It doesn't take up a lot of space. And yet all of my things are together in one spot. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is my happy planner. And I don't know if I talked about this with my favorite things last year. I think I bought this after the holidays or during the holidays, so I don't know that I talked about it in favorite things because I hadn't really used it yet. I like this planner. I didn't know if I was going to like it because of this. To me, I felt like the pages were going to fall right out of this disc system. But it didn't. The discs I bought larger discs so I could make my planner a little thicker. I will say that things didn't quite go the way I wanted them to go this year. And so I did buy and make cute a whole calendar, you know, with the stickers on the dates and everything. And I didn't use it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these. I'll probably keep them for a little while and maybe I can re-sticker them somehow and use them in the future because I don't think I used any of them. Oh, a little bit of January. Big whoop. And February. And then I kind of lost interest. Big whoop-de-doo. But what I do like is I purchased these pages and it lets you outline your priorities for the day, the month, the week. And it helps you kind of get through the day, like, and what your priorities are, what your main focus should be. And I did use these pages. Not as much as I thought I would, but I did use them. It's a good place to take notes if you're like calling somebody. Then I went on Etsy, and I found somebody, and I will link her below, where she did pages for the Happy Planner. So I purchased a few of her page packs and I really like it. So this one is a Flosstube video planner and it tells you, like, you know, you write down the episode, the title, the dates, you know, what your agenda is, what you talked about. Yep, it's two-sided. Writing things down is really great because if I pick something up that I haven't picked up in, say, 6 or 8 weeks, all I have to do is flip back in my pages and I can find what video the information is and I can go get the information from the notes in that video. I kind of stopped the last 10 weeks or so. I have not really recorded this, and that's because I need to print out new pages, which I did, but now they need to be cut down and put in, and I need to print more, and it's a whole thing. They also have a whip tracker. So I sat down on New Year's Eve and I went through all of my whips and I wrote them down. And I separated them by holiday whip trackers. So I went through and I gave each holiday season its own page. I also gave each series its own page. So I could track when they were started, when they were finished, that kind of a thing. I love this. I use it an awful lot. The other thing that I do, and this isn't from the Etsy shop, but this is just regular notebook paper. I've been tracking what I've been finishing. Look at how much I finished. We'll go over this in another video, but look at how much I have finished. I've opened this and I'm like, oh, I've done a lot. And this is a fully finished, not just finished, but a fully finished. I wanted to track my fully finished objects. So I do really like my Happy Planner. This year I will take it. Now I did make extra tabs that aren't looking so great. Probably need to redo the tabs. I'll probably take out the calendar. The Etsy shop did also have a Stitch Everyday tracker, but you know, I made it to April 7th and then I stopped tracking. But I can tell you that I've stitched almost every day this year. Maybe there's 5 days in total I didn't stitch. But I'm really enjoying my planner and I'm enjoying working with it. So that's another one of my favorite things. The puppy is back out again. And I think that that is it. Yeah. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't done so already, please like the video, share the video, comment on the video. I do read the comments. I do like to acknowledge them with at least that little heart emoji on the comment, you know, like button thing. If not, respond to you directly. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. We have hit 2,000. We will be doing a little celebration and a giveaway here in the near future. Not quite sure when that will be. It may have to wait until after the first of the year. We'll see. But I do appreciate you being here. Until next time, have a great rest of your week. I'll see you on Saturday or Sunday of next week, and happy stitching. Bye.